Good evening and welcome to Debate Amongst Friends. Tonight we will discuss the NBA Finals, that bad man or those bad men, LeBron and Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and what is going on in Chicago starting now.
Yeah, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7th edition of Debates Among Friends live on Mixlr and on the Facebook page as well too. You can reach us at Debates Among Friends as well too, same affiliate name. I am known as the Professor and always ready to drop some knowledge every single week. He is the Doctor. Doctor, are you ready tonight?
I am in the building. I am ready for some debating, my friend. Hopefully we get something good going.
Well, let's get ourselves started. So, the biggest news is the NBA Finals are now a series heading into Game 6 tomorrow. The Cavaliers did what many people thought they wouldn't be able to do and win at Oracle.
They did. Now, our predictions are still intact when you really think about it, because I know I said 6 games and you said five. I think we both said 5 or 6 games.
I said 6.
You said six. Okay, I know
We,
I
we,
said
we go
six.
to the tapes. I believe you said 5 or 6. I said 6 games.
Yeah, I said 5 or 6. Now the way they were playing, they really should have got swept for real. Uh, Game 1 and 2, they should have been over. But I get it. I understand completely. Now let's talk about that though. I mean, is this one of those games? Let's go past Game 3. Game 3, they beat the Warriors clearly. Would this game
They-
have to? Would this game have to have an asterisk next to it though?
I mean,
Don't you hate that?
I'm going to say yes, but then here's the problem. I mean, basketball, either you win or you lose.
And I get that.
The Cavaliers, my friend, they won.
They did. They did. And they did royally. I mean, they really did
I
a good
mean,
job.
Firstly, everyone just thought that after Game 4
Uh-huh.
that it was over.
I
Everyone said it was over.
I just hope that it was over because I mean I really just I didn't think it was over. I hoped that it was over because
And I could reference back to a lot of the conversations that we have on Facebook and, people out there, we are on Facebook as well too, Debates Among Friends. And some of the things that we was talking about was, and I made this particular statement. I said the Warriors had the potential to win it last game. However, what the Cavaliers should do, because I still feel like the Warriors can win, is to lay down and lose at Oracle
oh
instead of losing at home again.
back to
Because this would
back
be
like
back to back.
like Jordan 96 97. Whoa.
Exactly. I don't think we went
Oh
there. I don't
God,
think
back
we
to
went there.
back like you're on the cover of Lethal Weapon for real. Like
Oh no.
why would you put
Oh,
yourself through
no.
this again? The banner being raised in your court, confetti
and that's what I'm saying. I
everywhere.
mean, the last thing they need is for the same thing that happened last year to happen again.
Sending the announcer home early. You know that guy has a
Sending
lot
the
of
announcer
energy
home.
in Cleveland. Give it up for your Cleveland.
I'm not going
Game
there.
over.
I'm not going there.
I mean,
But you have to admit though, I mean, there was a lot of things during that game that was kind of sketchy as well.
oh, it was crazy, crazy, crazy. Now,
Now let's give the Cavaliers their kudos. They played great defense, but at the same time they had a lot of help from the rim.
I hate the fact that, and you mentioned this in a couple games, maybe game 3 or 4. No, game 3. I hate the way the refs call the games now. And you see it more and more in the finals. It's not so much during the regular season, but in the finals, they get really, really terrible. And terrible. That's Charles
Shout
Barkley.
out to Charles Barkley.
And I think Adam Silver was on one of the games in halftime talking about how they're trying to get the game officiating right. But I'm watching and everybody's talking about, oh, Draymond he hit LeBron, in the testicles, and I
It
didn't,
wasn't even a
I
testicle.
didn't,
What's his stop?
I didn't see it. If they were talking about the step over, is it the step over?
So here's my problem with that, and it's great that you said that. My problem was people reacted more about what Draymond did instead of reacting more about what LeBron did.
Right, he
First
did
of
the
all,
step
what
over.
LeBron did was completely disrespectful,
It
and
was
it's
uncalled
ironic.
for. It was so
It is
uncalled
ironic
for.
because it was the same thing that his coach had done on him already.
Famous. I
I've
mean,
made you famous.
but it was so
But
uncalled
like,
for
no
to
one is
do
talking
that.
about that. No one is saying, well, how come LeBron isn't getting penalized for that?
Because
And
this
and
with
and
LeBronites
this
out there, those LeBronites,
the LeBron Knights.
you know,
We need to put a patent on that name.
yeah, LeBronites out there. Oh, Draymond been doing this all playoff long, but it's like I would have rather him got suspended when he hit Steven Adams. I would have been like, okay, cool, suspend him right there. But I thought it was more because he called LeBron a B, and then I mean I would have called him a
But
B
that's
too.
basketball.
He stepped
That's
over like
basketball,
that.
though.
I mean, there should have definitely been some pushing and shoving there, but I didn't see him hit him in the testicles or
I
anything.
mean, I literally just got finished watching a vinaigrette of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Chicago Bulls and my New York Knicks,
Okay.
and it showed how the Knicks were bodying the Bulls. I mean, not destroying them, but like putting a body on them.
Put the body back, Johnny. Put him in the
Dr. Pliz.
body.
And one of the things that Jordan was talking about was, for the next game, I believe they went up to Game 7. Should he defer to his teammates, or should he, take over the game? And he talked to his father about it. And his father said, "Take over the game." Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Now,
you take over the game. Now,
now,
one of the things that he did during that game was he did something a la Reggie Miller
Reggie.
and got into their heads.
Yes.
He talked smack back at them, and
Now,
it crumbled their confidence.
I'm glad you said that because before I'm gonna let you finish.
You did not just Kanye me.
I did.
You did not.
On
Kanye plus.
we talked about the herd before, Colin Coward before, and he made some comments before the last game saying, LeBron wasn't an A+ player anymore. This time I read a report that said LeBron is good. All of a sudden now he's good. And here we go. That they can win. LeBron just needs somebody else to score to help him. LeBron just needs help, he said. But you're saying that Michael Jordan
Michael Jordan.
said, "Dad, should I take this into my hands or should I have make this a team thing?" Everybody knows that when the game is on the line, it should go to your superstar. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Michael Jordan didn't say, "Hey, Sky, I'm gonna need you to drop 20 tonight. I know that's asking for a lot, but Scotty, come on, Bill Winnington, I'm gonna need you to get me 15 and 10, man. I need you. Tara, I need you to knock down at least 5 threes tonight." That's crazy for your superstar to come out and say. So I don't believe that. LeBron has to step up. I will say that I'm very, very impressed, and it seems like every time I say something, you say something, or even somebody on our Facebook says something, they wind up changing it. Like it was like, oh, LeBron can't shoot. I feel like LeBron hit like every jumper he'd taken so far. Like,
LeBron
he's
was
not
4
missing
of
a
8
jump.
last game from three.
Okay.
He was
But I felt
16
like
of
he
for
just
30.
I felt like he just made every jump shot. Like he missed a lot of layups yesterday too. I will
I'm
say
not
that.
gonna lie though, he still has one of the worst and I
Oh,
said this before too. He has one of the worst jump shots for a
It is
superstar. He has one of
yeah.
the worst jump shots.
Now, and on the other side of things, we were talking about Kyrie Irving, and the one problem you have with him is that he dribbled too much at times. And I felt like since we said that, and since he was challenged, and he was told that he's overrated by a certain fan out there, MJ,
Overrated.
Jay, if you're listening out there,
Overrated.
he said Kyrie Irving is overrated. And Kyrie has tore the playoffs up ever since.
Yes.
I feel like he's not done bad since
Yes.
that comment.
He's been balling.
I don't know if he can read anything. Anytime anybody says Kyrie or says Kyrie, I don't know if he has an alert that goes off on his phone. He's like, okay. He said,
well,
I
obviously
dribble too much.
Kyrie is a fan of the show, so.
Obvious, clearly, because he has stopped dribbling.
So think about this though. Out of everyone who played for the Cavaliers last game,
Mhm.
We already know about the two that got 41.
Uh-oh.
Do you know that there's only one other Cavalier who scored in double digits
This, in the series or that last game?
in that game? Oh, please. No, not in that series. Can you guess who that person is?
I would have to say JR.
It is JR.
Yeah.
He scored 10 points.
Which is terrible. And
which is terrible.
I mean, can I
The
pose?
other superstar on
I was about to say,
that
can I pose?
squad.
Now I'm glad you said that because I was about to pose a question. Do they have a third superstar? Is Kevin Love a superstar anymore?
Well, I mean, he scored 2 points, so I mean, you could take that however you want.
God, I don't know what's going on with him.
2 points.
They're gonna have
2
to.
points. Richard Jefferson has 8 points.
Yeah, he's coming back off the bench. Game 6.
Like like everyone else on the Cavaliers scored 30 points. My math might be wrong, but I think I'm right. I think
What
30
the
points.
heck happened to Kevin
30
Love?
points. They scored 30 points.
They did, and I said
So,
that. I said that's
so we
unbelievable.
take this in perspective, and I'm gonna rant on the media in a second. Actually,
Sure.
if we take that into perspective, if LeBron and Kyrie didn't play their minds out like they did, this would be over.
Game time, Kobe.
This would be over.
It would be over, indeed. I agree. Because LeBron's not scoring 50 points. I was just shocked. I mean,
okay,
don't get
let's
me
stop
wrong.
right there.
Kyrie's a great player.
40.
Kyrie's a great player, but 40 points. I mean, that's Uncle Drew plays.
Uncle Drew plays.
Come on.
Drew plays.
Some of those shots was crazy.
That was a pocket pass.
His layups are great. I mean, don't get me wrong, but as a jump shooter, I never felt like, hey, he's going to go out there and destroy you. He's going to get past everybody that defends him. He's going to get around all shot blockers. He's going to hit threes in people's faces more than one time. He's not going to dribble too much. He's going to make great quality decisions. This is the guy we've been waiting on. And then I didn't realize that he was only 24 years old.
Yeah, he's still young.
And I was just like, wow. So right now the pressure is really not on LeBron. I mean, the pressure not on him is really on LeBron because Kyrie done showed up. In which now looking at it, Dellavedova didn't get as much credit as he deserved last year.
Nope.
And I'm surprised that he's not being used. That's why I'm so curious as to how their rotation.
He didn't even play 4 minutes.
I know.
I mean, like, this is the thing. Like, so my rant about the media. Everyone counted the Cavaliers out. Everyone.
Yeah, they did.
Every media outlet, minus the media in Cleveland.
With all due respect to them, but I mean, LeBron, his face, they looked defeated in the first quarter. I'm not gonna lie.
And I understand that. But here's my problem, though. They, after they won, are marveling and, speaking the higher praise that need to be about the game. Like, I think I only heard a few analysts just say, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, if LeBron and Kyrie didn't play out of their freaking mind, this would be over.
This is over. It's
this
over.
Is over. No, everyone's sitting there saying, oh, well, now it's a game, and, now the Cavaliers, they have themselves a chance. They have a chance to make it a really big show now. Yeah.
3 in a row against the Warriors? No, sir.
No.
Bogut or no Bogut? There's no 3 in a row. This series over.
And they're getting Draymond back, and of course people are going to debate about whether or not Draymond was a factor and whether or not.
That's why I asked if that should be an asterisk.
Which is why I said yes, but, and I'm telling my reasoning afterwards. But my issue was, and I couldn't watch SportsCenter. I didn't want to read any news articles because it's the same reason why I dislike Cavaliers fans.
Because they're sometimey?
Because they're so hypocritical.
Sounds like sometimey to me. I mean, are there really Cleveland fans out there, or are there just LeBron fans? And we always talk
Kyrie
about that.
fans.
See, I don't know if there's any Kyrie fans out there. I mean, obviously we're from New Jersey. We're from New Jersey. He's from New Jersey. I hope that Kyrie. See, that's the part that sucks. It's like I want Kyrie to win, but I don't want LeBron to win. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like, does that make me a bad person? You know what I'm saying?
You're not a bad guy. You're not a good guy.
Sorry.
You're just a guy.
I had some thunder here that kind of caught me off guard there for a second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yikes. But
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I was so happy with Kyrie's 41. And then I was looking, I was like, oh, just great. LeBron has 41. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, man, Kyrie's balling out there. And then and my wife was sitting there.
Shout out to the doctor's wife.
Yeah, doctor's wife. And I was like, you see right there? You see what LeBron just did? That's why I'm not feeling him. It was something that no, I don't really see. I don't remember.
I heard that thunder this time. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of distracting. It's really distracting, but it was a drive. I think they had stole a pass. LeBron was running down the court. Klay Thompson was back there. LeBron's driving at him, and instead of going to try and just blatantly and all around dunk on him, he like took 2 steps, started bending down, trying to draw the foul, and I was like, "Oh, that is so weak. You gotta dunk that ish. You gotta dunk." You know, and I'm putting anger management on it, and I'm like, "See, you see, babe, this is why I'm not feeling LeBron." And then there were some other plays, and that's where hypocritical does come in, because there was one play where a young kid McAdoo was going for a rebound. It wasn't over the back. Clearly, he jumped up. LeBron actually hit him with an elbow.
Yeah, I remember that play.
McAdoo got called for the foul somehow.
I remember
Those are the plays that makes you dislike LeBron, dislike the league, dislike the referee,
dislike the referees. And that's right there is the main point right there.
Which adds
I've seen,
to
and
the
once
game.
again, and this is not us just being pro Warriors, because we call it straight down the middle, folks. At the Friends, we're controversial, but we're always right down the middle. There was calls that went the Warriors' way that shouldn't have went their way, but there was a lot of calls that went the Cavaliers' way that shouldn't have been. I'm just stating.
I agree.
Seeing people enjoying my little video before the show. Shout out to the people who tuned in.
Please,
we will definitely put out a poll later on to see if everyone wants to do a live feed video of me and the doctor as we do debates among friends on our personal Facebook pages. So just let us know.
Which would be hilarious because characters over here.
But seriously though, I mean, there was a lot of calls, and I'm just like, yeah, they want this to keep on going.
And I give a lot of credit to the Warriors, because I thought they did a dang good job with everything that they had to go against. Then losing Bogut, which, I didn't think that was... I mean, I hate that he got hurt, but I didn't think that was a humongous blow. I think they'll be fine without him, because they have so many other weapons. They go small usually anyway. So
I agree. I think he really helps them out in their pick and roll game. He's a big body.
Right.
I heard a lot of analysts state that. But it's interesting that you mentioned that. So the play that he got hurt involved J.R. Smith. Do you think that he went low on him? Do you think that was not accidental? Do you think he did it on purpose?
I didn't.
Because the professor believes that the fix was in right there. The professor believes there was a hit list right there about it. And I mentioned this for pretty much the whole series, how they was trying to do that to Steph Curry.
Now, I will say that I felt like they were trying to hurt Steph Curry on the one play with Kevin Love that they reviewed like 90 times. Because, that did look like it was a shot towards the shoulder. And which we all know there was reports that that Steph Curry had some shoulder injury or some shoulder soreness or whatever. And I felt like that swipe at the shoulder face area was kind of intentional. But shout out to, can we just stop and give an Academy Award to Anderson Varejao?
Yes. Yes, because he played that one off so well. And everyone's laughing about it. Steve Javie, shout out to Steve Javie. Like, he even had a good chuckle about it, too. He said he deserves an Emmy. He deserves an Academy Award for that performance right there. But you know what? I respect him because he's trying to find a way to give his team a chance. And I respect that. I don't like flopping. I really don't. Yeah. You know that. As both of us used to play basketball a lot, and, for someone who's constantly get fouled all the time, we're talking about the professor here, I don't flop.
And somebody who does the fouling, talking about the doctor, I will foul. Yes. First of all, I don't like people who just, and that's the part that really gets me mad, because it's like, and of course, this is all street ball, of course. We're not talking about, organized basketball. But even in organized basketball,
Park in Jersey City, New Jersey.
I'm going to let you know. Think about it. I'm going to let you know. Hey, Court. St. Peter's, St. Peter's. I mean, we'll let you know, like, hey, I'm not gonna let you come in here and keep scoring on me. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how it was. That's how we grew up. So, of course,
I
we're
mean,
gonna
once again,
still
we
play
grew
like
up in
that.
the
But
'90s, where it's the same kind of concept in baseball. I mean, if you hit 2 home runs on me, I'm gonna tag you next time, just
yeah,
because. And then the
just
next
because.
game, the opposing pitcher is gonna hit, one of the other players in retaliation for that. Like same thing with basketball. Like if you dunk it on someone,
You
or
don't
if you
know.
like completely, own someone for like a quarter, they're going to put you on your ish
Somebody
just to
has to.
reestablish that dominance. I mean, Allen
Somebody
Iverson
has to.
is one of the best little big men in the league,
Yes.
period, because he went among the
He
trees
does.
and dominated.
He
But
did.
he got knocked on his behind a lot. And that's what made a lot of people, this guy and the doctor on the other end of this included, because he had the balls to keep on going.
Sometimes you have, and that's the thing that I do like about LeBron is that he's comfortable driving the lane. I guess the question where we challenge him is actually just getting in the post more, which I do see he does take advantage of smaller matchups.
But
But
that's what I'm saying. I mean, most of the people on the opposing side are smaller than him. I mean, even
yeah,
if they're
so
taller than him, he can just back him down further. Like that's pretty
yeah,
much
he
all I'm
doesn't.
saying about him posting up.
He doesn't
Like,
even try it. If the person's taller than him, he doesn't try it. But if they're shorter, then he usually goes for it. Nobody ever tries to take a charge in that situation because I mean,
no.
you got this big 275 man coming at you, and I honestly would move out the way a few times. Just I mean, they're not going to call walk on him, of course. They're not going to call a traveling call, but I
Haircut.
mean,
Oh.
yeah, like they're not going to call traveling, but I mean, at least you can let them know that you're not going to keep like, 'cause, he drops that body into
He
you,
does. He does.
and it's like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I
okay,
saw a lot of shoulder dropping too from Kyrie
yeah,
the
it's
last
like
game as
I'm
well
not
too.
taking
I
this.
was like, how
So
many
it's
of
like
those should have been offensive fouls? Like if it was someone else.
that's what I'm saying. So, but that's enough
But
about LeBron. And we
I
know we can talk about
actually
LeBron
just
all the
one
time.
last quote because you talk about him posting up on little people. So basketball breakdown, b-ball breakdown. Shout outs to them because they do a great job as far as in-depth analysis, and that's where I tend to get a lot of my stats as well too. So shout outs to them
Indeed.
and basketballreference.com. A lot of LeBron's post ups are not in the traditional post up area, and we're talking 1 to 10 feet from the basket.
No,
He
it
does it
starts like
near the 3 point line.
yeah, it starts really far away. That's what I'm saying. I would be moving like letting him, moving out the way. Like once he comes at me, backing up because that is I mean, he's coming at you and he's about to drop his body at you,
Yeah,
and you're short and you're shorter too. So it's like, all right, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking it. I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
let
I'm just
you.
saying. I mean, if I had the chance, and this isn't me calling out LeBron James. This is me sort of being controversial. I mean, and I enjoy playing defense. For
Yeah,
those
indeed.
that listening on the podcast and I played up against you, you know how much I enjoy playing defense on people. I
No, no,
mean,
no. Yeah.
oh boy, I don't believe you went there. I don't believe you just went there. Oh
No,
goodness.
no, not in
Shout
here.
outs, shout outs to my intramural team. But I mean, like, quite literally, I just make his life a living heck. Like, I would make him so uncomfortable. I would make sure that as soon as he gets the ball, that he's not allowed to dribble, and I make him earn every single shot. Quite literally, that's how I would defend LeBron James.
And I think that's where Lance Stevenson was trying. Lance Stevenson was trying when they played the Indiana Pacers that game. He really did try to get into LeBron's
Minus the
head
blowing in his
and
ear.
try and right minus that part. That was strange. I mean, I was giving him credit, but I mean that just too far. I mean, but and I think Draymond plays good. I mean, you think about it now, he scored 41 on the same night Draymond's out. I mean, asterisk.
Once again, I mean, people. I mean, we got the chats open. Let us know what
Yeah,
you
what you
think. Do you think this was an asterisk or not? I mean, we both believe it. I still have an asterisk on the asterisk as well too. But we both know that Game 6, LeBron is not scoring 41 points. Let's just stop it.
No, no, no. Let's stop it. I don't think Kyrie's going to come out as hot, and that's where I think the problem's going to be is that LeBron's going to have to carry in the game 6 because now they're fighting from behind. The Warriors, come on, losing 2 and 3 in a row. I don't think so, my friend. But
No,
yeah, I
they
don't think
haven't
so.
they haven't lost back to back minus the Thunder series.
And that was, I don't even know.
And that one, the professor, and I'm owning up to my mistake. I'm man enough to do it. I was wrong, but I had all the reasons to be right.
I mean, you said. I mean, you had the Thunder in six, Thunder in seven,
7. I had the
seven.
Thunder in 7.
Well, I had the Warriors in six. So I mean, I was well off. I mean, but this series though, I had them in six, 5 or 6, which they series should have went to 5 games. It really should have. But yeah, I think it's over, bro.
Yeah.
It's over.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, we'll find out. I mean, game is tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you tune in. ABC. I don't know what channel number it is for everyone because everyone lives in different places.
Indeed, it's got to be over, man. I don't think the Warriors gonna
But once
catch
again,
this
I think it should be over, but I still feel like that the Cavaliers should have just let
Lie
it
down.
end
Well,
because now they have to deal with it again.
yeah. Now you got to think: will LeBron stay in Cleveland after this? Because he said it's
He's
not.
gonna stay.
He said it's not
He's gonna
about
stay.
winning championships. He didn't come back to Cleveland to win championships. I didn't come back.
But for those that doesn't understand, I gave him the bruh look right now.
That's what he said, man. I mean, he said, "I didn't come back to Cleveland to win championships."
No,
Same-
stop it.
help build
Stop
this
Stop.
franchise. Now,
Don't make me go Stephen A. on you.
I made a
sir.
mistake.
Shout out to Stephen A. Smith.
I made a mistake and asked for them to trade for Kevin Love, and I should have kept Andrew Wiggins.
I'm not going there. And
I
you
mean,
did make that point, though. And
did I
think
not?
You'd be completely right. I think they would have been so much more dynamic
Imagine that.
to have a wing player with that much athleticism as an Andrew Wiggins.
And then you have LeBron, who's going to get your rebounds. You had Tristan Thompson, who usually gets rebounds anyway. You got Wiggins now, who's a scorer. You got Kyrie, and then you have J.R. Smith. Or I don't know how it would have worked because technically they still would have had Anthony Bennett too.
They would have.
And they probably had some other players that they gave up in that trade. So it might have just been completely different had they not made the trade for Kevin Love. They kept Wiggins. They kept Bennett. They don't go out and get some of these other players that they get. Kevin Love stays in Minnesota. Now, I don't know what happens. I don't know if they get Karl Anthony Towns still, but if they do, you got Kevin Love and Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I mean?
Which would be pretty good. I mean, big man on the outside, big man on the inside.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, that was just something that I threw out there because Kevin Love is playing like doo-doo on a stick.
He is.
I mean, it's
The stats don't lie.
It's pretty.
And here at Debates Among Friends, we're all about the facts. I'd like to give it to the
So,
people.
2 points though, bro.
2 points. 2 points.
2
Oh,
points.
and by the way, your boy Timothy Mozgov, he played
my
less than
God.
2 minutes.
Poor Tim. He's gonna be gone.
And
He's
Shannon
gonna be
Fry
gone.
was a coach's decision not to play.
And that's crazy.
So take that, how you want. People out there, I mean, people kept saying that Shannon Fry was gonna be that X factor for them to help them
No.
win because he helped them out throughout the playoffs. He didn't even play last game, and they, played.
Right now, it's honestly to me, it's all about
I mean,
Kyrie.
Mo Williams got into the game.
He
Mo
did get-
Williams, and we're gonna go to our next subject in a second. But Mo Williams,
That's the way he got in the game, sir.
he
I
played
saw him.
3 minutes
And he picked up his
in
player
23
option.
seconds.
And he picked up his player option today.
My goodness.
So Timothy Mozgov is probably going to be gone next year. I think Jr. might have turned down his option if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to see exactly what happens. But what is going on with the Bulls?
That's a great segue. Let's talk about the future of, and one of my cousins is a diehard Bulls fan. You know who you are. I love you, man. Shout outs to you. I mean, they're talking about getting rid of. At first, they were talking about getting rid of Jimmy Butler.
Uh-huh.
Like, they were talking about how they was going to trade him at draft night, and they said that he would not be a Bull after the draft.
And that's crazy, which the draft is next week, correct?
The draft is next week, I believe. But we can always get a fact check as well, too. So, I mean, if we're wrong, people, we apologize, but we're too focused on, Golden State finally ending this. I mean, just put the dead dog down.
That's hilarious.
But, I mean, and then they're talking about getting rid of Derrick Rose. Paul Gasol doesn't want to be there anymore either.
Neither does Joakim Noah.
Nope.
So, I mean, in this case, and Joakim Noah said he's going to listen to every single offer that's on the table.
Houston Rockets.
Nah, I doubt it. Knicks.
Actually, I wouldn't necessarily, frown upon that opportunity. I mean, he's a solid defender. You know, he loves to pass around the block, and you know we'll have a pretty good twin towers right there between him and Robin Lopez. I mean, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I just think that it's one of those situations where I don't know what they're going to do because right now they're talking about trading Jimmy Butler, they're talking about trading Derrick Rose, and it's one of those situations where I could see, and this isn't a perfect world, and this is the only thing that I see makes sense. The only team that I know has that much cap room off the top of my head is the 76ers.
76ers just have cap runs for days because you
Yeah,
know
because they have nothing but draft picks on their team. They don't have any
exactly.
big stars. So you think about it, they could take on a big salary like Derrick Rose and trade Okafor. In which if they trade Okafor, then they probably wouldn't mind Joakim Noah walking. They wouldn't mind, Paul Gasol walking because they got their big. They got Jimmy Butler, and maybe they can get maybe an Ish Smith or whoever else they're willing to give up, as well as that one of those first round. I guess maybe they do give up the first overall pick. What do you think on that one?
That's highly possible. I mean,
I
just
don't
depends
know.
on how they swing it, though.
The first overall pick, and
Oh, we already had that with the NFL.
we did, but I don't see them giving up both. It would have to be one or the other. But I think the Sixers have a few picks, but then it just depends on how this plays out. Because the Sixers are the only one that I think could take that contract, but I know the Bulls, they're just open to trading everybody right now. So it's just one of those situations where I don't know what's happening, but it's falling apart down there in the Shy.
Yeah,
Absolutely falling apart.
yeah, it is. We talked about this before the podcast started. I mean, you know, Jimmy Butler led the team in scoring with 13, 199 points, but Derrick Rose is third in the team with 1,080.
Who was second?
Paul Gasol.
So right now you're talking about getting rid of your top three guys, or at least
Well,
two.
one of them wants
Two
to
out.
leave. The other two they're thinking about getting rid of.
And Jimmy Butler's sitting there like, bro, like I'm dropping buckets.
Jimmy Butler's 26 years old. He only
Yeah,
had one injury.
I'm dropping buckets.
You know, Derrick Rose is injury prone, unfortunately, and I don't wish ill will towards the guy, but I mean he's injury prone.
He is.
I mean, case in point, when he went down after the devastating knee injury, you heard the entire Chicago crowd going, "Oh no!" Literally, the mic was up, and you could hear them screaming, "Oh no!"
They call me Mr. Glass.
They called me Mr. Glass.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, they got Doug McDermott on the team,
They do, and he's on the
and
trade
he
block
is a
apparently.
stud.
I think he's on the trade block too.
That's, you know what? I
'Cause I
want
saw
Doug
that.
on the Knicks.
I
I
saw
want him on the
that.
Knicks. You know what, Phil? I know you're a fan of the
I know
show.
you're listening out there, Phil. Zen Master.
I want you to get Doug McDermott and get rid of Aaron Aflalo
Oh my God, you and this Aaron
and Jose Calderon.
and Jose Calderon. So you gonna take Derrick Rose contract? Oh, now you gonna take Derrick Rose contract?
No, 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 no. Get them both up. Let's get Doug McDermott because he can do a lot.
The trade that I saw, the proposed trade that they said would shake up the Eastern Conference, or the proposed trade that would be good in this particular
Don't tell me
situation.
Cavaliers.
No, 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 no. It was I would never mention anything as a kid. I don't think Cavaliers are in any trade talks because they don't have any problems. Right now the problem is Kevin Love, but they don't have the type of problems that like a Chicago and Indiana, a Toronto or some of these other teams that are in the East have. A team like Boston, who has like 90 picks, shout out to my friend who's a Celtics fan,
Awesome.
they would make a push for Jimmy Butler. In which, if they make a push for Jimmy Butler, they'd be willing to part ways with one of their top picks. Now,
Yep.
we also saw that Minnesota was interested in Jimmy Butler. You pair Jimmy Butler with Karl Anthony Towns, and you have yourself something special. The question would
Potentially,
be,
definitely something special with Ricky Rubio running the point.
but the question will be, who's going back in return? You know what I mean? Like, will Wiggins be dealt in that pick? Because I mean, now you talk about Jimmy Butler who plays the three, Wiggins who plays the three. How does this work here? Or do you move Wiggins to the four to play next to, in the block and go small ball?
Or Jimmy Butler to the two.
Or Jimmy Butler to the two? I mean, I guess you could run it that way, but I think they have somebody else down there. I can't think of. Is that you said Levine is the shooter?
Yes, Zach LaVine, and he might be the one dealt.
That's true. He could be the one down. But if they trade Jimmy Butler, Chicago's done for 3 to 5 years.
I completely agree. And
Switch them.
let's say for I mean, just sorry about those Chicago Bulls fans out
Nah,
there, but I
forget that.
mean,
They
everyone
trade Jimmy
know
Butler. They
it's
done.
just a reality. I mean,
3 to 5 years rebuild.
at least 3 years.
Switching with the Nets.
Oh gosh, let's not go in there.
The Nets
You know,
could not.
Mr. Knapp would not be happy about that.
The Nets. I mean,
But actually, we actually got a question from the people.
From the people.
Mr. Hicks.
Uh-oh.
Shout outs to you for giving us our first question for the podcast.
Nice.
He says, would you rank Stephen Curry as number one, or would you keep LeBron as the top player in the league? Doctor, Mr. Hicks wants your answer.
We talked about this last week on whether LeBron was the best player in the world, and I think we said we were going to call him the best athlete in the game today.
Yes.
This is a tough one, only because LeBron does play good defense. It's just he gets away with murder out there, and I hate it so much.
With murder.
It's murder. That's LeBron.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
goodness. Shout out to DMX.
Steph Curry is top 5 dead or alive, and that's just off 1LP, one of the best three-point shooters to ever shoot a basketball. I mean, I would say that it's still close. I'm going to give it to LeBron only because he does play exceptional defense despite him getting away with murder. So like that show, How to Get Away with Murder, it should have his face on it.
Oh,
rather
so
than
what you're
Viola
saying is that
Davis.
LeBron James is the poster child for
How to Get Away with Murder, yes. Because,
Got
I
it.
mean, some of the elbows.
So he's basically the
An
Viola
Academy-
Davis of the
Yeah,
show.
an Academy Award winner. Like,
Oh boy.
he's.
I just want to thank the league
Yes.
and
I saw
thank the
a meme.
producers,
I
thank
saw
the
a meme
referees.
that said, "Hey,"
Referees, you're the real MVP.
I saw a meme that says, "Hey NBA, Steph and Clay have been talking about me too. Can you suspend them for the next game also?" You know
Don't
what I
be
mean? Like,
surprised. I mean, Klay Thompson's been struggling on defense because every single time he even go near either Kyrie or LeBron, he gets fouled.
I
He gets
hope
called for the foul.
change the rule, where the shooter leans into the person and draws the foul. Like some of them, like the one Kyrie did on one play where Clay had his hands up, straight up,
Yep.
and then Kyrie leaned into him and shot the ball. And I was like, "What?"
Well, I think that was more than the referee that was behind Clay because he probably thought that he was leading ahead. But that was a stupid thing too because there should have been the back referee.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the back referee as well too, and they kept showing the replay, and he's seen that there was no foul committed. But of course, no one's going to talk about that. And yes, I'm calling out Steve Javy and Ronnie Nunn
I'm calling out you,
because they know those are not fouls. Stop it.
Yeah.
Let's just stop it.
But
Once again, we're straight down the middle, but stop it. Stop picking on Klay Thompson
Please.
like that. Stop putting him in the foul trouble like that. Stop it.
Plus, but I mean, to answer the question, I would put LeBron still number 1, Steph number 2. How do you feel, Professor? What do you think there on that question?
As I stated before, on Debates Among Friends, brought to you by Not Your Father's Ginger Ale for Small Town Brewery. Make sure you get that. And also by Stella Artois. Let me do that one again. Stella
Artois. That's right.
Both great drinks, so make sure you pick them up at your local grocery store.
Once this is over.
There's our cheap plug for today.
Oh, yeah.
As I stated before, on the show, I now refer to LeBron as the best athlete in the world. He and someone made this analogy a long time ago. It was actually one of my barbers back in Arizona, and he said that Amari Stoudemire is a great athlete, and he depends so much on his talent that when he kept getting injured, he really didn't have too much to rely on as far as the skills portion.
That's true.
I think LeBron James sometimes suffered through that, where he relied so much on his
Athletic.
natural talent and God-given athleticism that now he doesn't do what he did 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
And
but to comply with the question and to make people feel better, yes, LeBron is the best basketball player all around. Steph Curry's the best shooter.
Yes.
LeBron James can score you 40 points, but he won't do it the way that he did it last game.
Very true. I don't think he's scoring 40 again. You can put that down on paper right now. If he scores 40, I will literally catch up to you guys on Borderlands.
Shout out to the Borderlands. Shout out to the Sergeant as well too.
Yeah, you guys. If I'm telling you right now, if he scores 40 points right now, I will play. I will forsake all other games and play Borderlands until I catch up with you guys. You can put
I don't
that
know.
down.
He's at level 52, so I mean,
No, skip that.
that's a long hill
I
to
will
climb right there, sir.
catch up. I will not play any other game. I will skip them, and I will play Borderlands 2 until I catch up to you guys. And you know how much I think that game is crap, in my opinion.
Hey, it's no two guns, my
It's
friend.
no two guns, not anything that I play, but
Oh
if he
goodness.
scores 40 points, and I'm gonna hate him if he does, I will play it, and I will play it royally.
I don't know. You sure you want to do that? I mean,
Not really, but
I'm just
it's
trying to
better.
make sure that you're not, being controversial and creating cash over here.
I don't
I
want
mean,
to.
we want to create cash, but I mean, yeah.
I don't want to put my beard or anything on the line. You did your eyebrows that one time.
You know what though? But it was a good bet.
It
Okay, let's just
was.
stop it. It was a good
Yeah,
bet.
I'm not doing that. I'd rather do something. I mean, I love my eyebrows. I would never cut my eyebrows. I wouldn't even put my eyebrows on the line. I will put that stupid game on the line because I don't
Oh boy.
really like it like that because of stupid characters that pop up out of nowhere, shoot their heads off, and they
So
still come towards you. That's crazy, bro.
so the wager is that if the doctor will play and commit to Borderlands if LeBron James in Game 6,
40 plus.
only Game 6, if he
Game
scores
6.
40 points,
40 points, which I don't think
40
he's going to
points.
do. I think he's going to be in the 25 to 35 range. I don't think he's going 40 again. Because he struggled the first couple games. I mean, I put Borderlands on the line because I don't believe in LeBron.
But we're gonna start wrapping it up soon. But it's a few things that we still want to talk about. So let's switch over. Let's talk about the world of boxing. And we lost
Yes, sir.
quite possibly, and I definitely will agree, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali.
There will never be another.
And I definitely agree. There will definitely be another. I mean, just the passion and the things that he did, not just for the sport of boxing, but just society as a whole.
I agree. I mean, just thinking back on some of the fights, a lot of times I watch old documentaries. I'm a silently big boxing fan. I think now I don't watch it as much because boxing is only as good as the heavyweight division goes, in my opinion. When the heavyweight division is down, boxing is down. You know,
Absolutely.
Tyson was fighting, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield. Some of those big guys were fighting. In the 2000s and 90s, it was like, yes, this is boxing. You were going to get at least 6 7 rounds of good actual fighting. Now it's like you got Floyd out there, and you're like, all right, we know Floyd's going to run around the ring for the entire thing.
For 12 rounds.
Shout out to his cardio. Obviously, he's doing great cardio, but he'll never, in my opinion, be the best boxer in history.
That's hilarious.
And never, he'll never be.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Just
I
what
mean,
he hasn't done anything. Basically, he's fighting for himself, and I'm waiting for that guy, that Buster Douglas, to come along and really work hard to beat him at his game, and we haven't seen that yet. And I think we
no.
probably won't because of the way he fights, and just the people that came before him. He just really needs to pay homage to those people, and I mean, there's something about it that I just don't like. He boxes like LeBron plays. It's soft.
And he doesn't mean SOFT. He means
S
there's only
F
one
F
word
T. Soft.
to describe
That's
Floyd,
right.
and he just spelled it out for
You
you.
can spell it out.
But
Spell it
I
out again.
mean, to culminate what you're talking about. I mean, I posted a video out on Facebook that just shown the massive amount of respect for Muhammad Ali, and
Yeah.
just showing like how much the boxing sport transcended upon itself. It was a clip of him on the Arsenio Hall show.
Yeah.
Shout out to that show; it was a great show actually.
Yes.
And he brought on two surprise guests, and those two surprise guests was Sugar Ray Leonard and Iron Mike Tyson. Muhammad didn't know
Yeah.
that they was gonna be on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and just the charisma that he's shown, even at that time,
Yeah.
was just amazing. It was just magic. I mean, he played up Mike Tyson so well. People was already afraid of Mike.
Yeah.
But to hear Muhammad Ali say that Mike could whoop him in a fight,
I did hear. I do remember him saying that. And I mean, Mike was really, really humble, and that's the
and
thing.
Mike was definitely humbled by it.
Yeah, he was definitely humbled by it. And the thing about Mike and Muhammad that I like is that,
Layer? Okay.
huh?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at comments from the video from earlier, and someone said layer. I don't know if he meant layer or liar.
Oh goodness.
So, go ahead.
The thing I like about them is that they poured their heart and soul into something that they love. And when I watch their documentaries, I don't know if you've ever seen like Tyson on HBO. Muhammad Ali has some great documentaries out there, but if you ever get a chance to watch, and I tell everybody, to watch. I love documentaries, so I mean, you get a chance to see how much work people poured into being who they are and
Absolutely.
getting to that particular point to where you can't say, hey, man, I can't even hate on that person. You know what I mean? And maybe I just haven't seen I haven't seen Floyd's documentary yet. I haven't seen LeBron's documentary yet, but looking at Muhammad Ali, what he had to go through, Mike Tyson, how he got to where he is,
Mm-hmm.
people like Kareem, how Kareem got to where he is,
Yep.
looking at some,
Jordan.
yeah, exactly, and everybody was talking about how Michael Jordan was cut and then he kept working hard. Looking back at those particular people, you sit there and you say, you know what? They worked hard for their success. They didn't take any shortcuts.
Nope.
They did the right thing. They did what was right for themselves, what they thought was right at the time. I mean, Mike, of course, had a lot of issues, but he did what he thought was right at the time.
Just like Robin, she's just like her.
Hey, hey. But I mean, Muhammad Ali was always a great man, though, and that's the one thing I
Absolutely.
admire.
Absolutely. I
And,
mean, he was someone who never shied away from the spotlight. I mean, he spoke his mind, and that was something that a lot of people respected and a lot of people disliked.
yeah,
He spoke the truth.
he really.
And, even to this day, I mean, people don't like hearing the truth.
They don't.
People like to live their lives, with blinded eyes,
Indeed.
where, the real horrors of the world, they overlook, and the smallest things that get expanded out is the main focus.
It's true, and that
Like, the real story isn't there, they're just spewing out what's actually being told. And this isn't us just, going to preaching, but, we definitely, respect the man and
yeah.
respect the legacy that he has. And,
And
he definitely will live
and
on
not to
forever.
change subject, but to drive what you just said home, and I don't want to talk about this long because this is really more about the media and just the way they portray things. But let's just take example of what you just said. Case in point, this whole shooting in Orlando. You know,
Absolutely.
the whole thing is about, hey, this guy's Islamic, and then B, he shot up a gay club, and it's like it's not more about, hey, these individuals lost their lives in a mass shooting. It's more of gay club Islamic to draw, and I feel like it's always drawing attention, and that's the one thing about like the media and people making things bigger than they are, and we don't know what they
Absolutely.
are because those people, people died. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where it gets kind of crazy. And I think sometimes we have to draw it in and just kind of realize, hey, this is what happened. Let's not make it a big thing about the people that it happened to. Not saying, hey, it didn't happen to that particular community, but
Hmm.
we don't know if it happened because it was that community. We just know it happened to those particular people in that particular club that day. You know what I mean? Because
I do.
had it been just a regular hip hop club, they wouldn't be like, oh, you know,
I mean, and we can speak from experience. I mean, Newark, New Jersey.
right,
Shout outs to you.
right,
But I mean, that's a regular Saturday night. Let's
yeah,
just stop it.
I mean, seriously. So that's
But
the one
everything,
thing.
just like you said, I completely agree with you. I mean, everything is pretty much propaganda. I mean, everyone's trying to get an agenda out of the way.
And it's
And with this one, this is just say, hey, let's really drive home this whole,
gay club, like LGBT gay club,
yeah,
and it's like, no, group of people at a club lost their lives. It just so happened to be a gay club, but it was a club, and that was it. You know what I mean? Like, they're really stressing it. And I think that was just to drive home your point about how people are making things out to be one thing, but they're stretching it out of some of the details that might not really mean anything. We don't know. You know,
I completely agree.
and that's the thing about it. And that is the thing that you got to like about Muhammad and going back to him is that he told you things how he felt, but he stuck to the facts and he stuck to the truth.
Uh, And you know what? Case in point, I mean, I think there was one interview that he did where they was talking about whether or not he was going to go to Vietnam
Right.
to fight in the war, and he's like, I don't have any beef with them. I don't. They're not my enemies. You're my enemies.
Right.
You want me to go out there and fight them for you, but you won't sit there and fight for me
Here.
here.
And,
And that's just so powerful. It's like it's some of the things that many of us would think about. It's like, well, I mean, you want us to go out there and fight for wars and stuff like that. And of course, we both, here at Debate Among Friends, we appreciate everyone in our armed forces. So
absolutely.
we're not trying to say anything negative about it.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, too, I mean,
We're struggling here.
we're struggling here,
Yeah.
but you want us to do stuff for you.
Right.
Like we're just scratching your backs, but you're not doing anything for us.
And you want to know something? Where were all of the people that said all lives matter when that girl got raped by that swimmer?
Ooh. Ooh, and I wish we had a lot more time to talk about that one. We should definitely.
My goodness.
Let's talk about that one real quick.
Where were all the people when and I saw somebody posted something about, people always post about white privilege and things like that, but how in the world can a judge sit there and say, hey, this guy's dad sent me a letter about how you can't send him away for jail for 20 minutes of
20
and I'm like, bruh,
I mean
2 minutes is 1 minute 30 seconds.
I'm about to say, the amount of time doesn't even matter. I mean,
20 minutes should have been.
There's people who've been arrested for less.
He should have got 20 minutes. Each minute should have been 3 to 5 years.
Absolutely.
Which is what someone of the opposite race, a la our race,
absolutely
got.
I mean, case in point, I mean, there was a 4-star football player who was accused of raping a woman, found out that it wasn't the case, but he still spent time off of an accusation.
So
no proof, no evidence.
So all this guy got is 6 months with probation,
6 months.
And he can't swim on the USA team.
Oh, wow. You know what? We're not going to leave it on a down note. Doctor, we have about 4 minutes left. You want to say anything?
Shout out to the listeners. We're having a good time. Still trying to grow this project. Still trying to grow this podcast. Love sports. Love talking to my bro, the professor, in the building. And hopefully we can just continue to get better and better and grow and just keep talking about issues, not just with sports, but other things like we did today. We're just branching out and just having a good time, because that's what Debate Among Friends is all about. Educating Absolutely. And having a good time, and sport bashing. Love that.
I'm just gonna give a quick shout outs to all my people in the fighting game community. Next month is Evo, and we'll be heading out there. We'll be doing a live broadcast out there as well too. So we're both very excited.
Yep.
Shout outs to the team that I enjoy watching a lot: Evil Geniuses, Ricky Ortiz, Justin Wong, and my boy K. Pratt. And I mean, I just can't wait. I mean, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully one of them can go pretty far in Street Fighter V, and it's gonna be pretty fun. So, once again, thank you very much for tuning in tonight to Debates Among Friends. I am known as the Professor,
and I am the Doctor.
And thank you very much. Catch you all next week. We do this every single Wednesday, and we hope to catch you soon. We'll leave you off with a song from So Fresh Beats called High Above All. Peace.